Dan Powers, Manager of Consignment Sales for Donlin Corporation, analyzes the uptick in return on previously driven cars at auction.
This year is quite different from previous years. We've been dealing with supply issues that has been benefiting us tremendously and in turn benefiting our clients tremendously. We're seeing remarkable returns at auctions on units that years ago at this time of the year you wouldn't normally see, especially with condition and miles. So it's been a totally different year from previous years, and I've been doing this for quite a while. So when I see some of the returns that we're getting on normal cars, nothing spectacular, it's quite interesting. We're even seeing it on your older, higher mileage units that years ago or even just last year you just wouldn't see the kind of activity that we're seeing this year, and it's a big benefit to our clients. We also are really starting to see an uptick in basically that $4,000 to $7,000 car. Years ago, that $4,000 car would stay at that $4,000 mark. Now what we're starting to see is, a $4,000 to $6,000 or $7,000 car. You have a lot of activity in our auction environment. You're seeing, instead of it selling at the auction for $4,000, some of them we're seeing $5,000, $6,000 for these cars, and it's been quite interesting to see the upticks that we're seeing.
Can you explain why that's happening? Do you know why?
My understanding from what I've been seeing is it is having a lot to do with supply. And what I've been hearing is in the fleet world, we are the biggest supplier right now to auctions, is the fleet leasing companies. There's not a lot of supply out there. Manufacturers don't have as much out there, nor do rental car companies, but our fleet leasing companies do. And what we supply, specifically Donlin, is a 3 or 4 year old car, decently maintained, decent miles, that in today's economy is what a lot of the retail buyers are looking for.
Do you see any particular trends in vehicle segments, such as small vehicles, mid-size pickups, SUVs?
Yeah, the segments, there are some trends that we're starting to see in the different segments. I would say in the smaller to mid-size, those are probably the biggest trends that is getting quite a big uptick. With regards to different kinds of equipment that makes something a little bit more attractive, a lot of what it comes down to is the car's going to be retailed. It's going to go to someone who's going to buy that car, and they're going to drive it every day, and they own it. Whereas obviously what we're selling right now is a car that was a company car, so it wasn't someone who owned the vehicle. With regards to the equipment, we are starting to see that because more cars are being sold in the market are older, we are starting to see that people want the nice equipment on them, and it's a tough balance, because obviously from a client standpoint they want to make sure that what they're putting into their cars is cost effective. But when it comes to us selling the cars at the auctions, the dealers who are buying them, they're retailing those cars, and they want to make sure that the equipment that's on there is going to be able to sell something relatively quick, 30 to 45 days. With regards to specifics, one thing that we have noticed is that if you have a car that does not have a moonroof compared to one that does, the one that does, there's a lot more activity on it. It does bring better returns, but it varies. I mean, Janice, it'll vary by condition, by miles, but there are some pieces of equipment on cars that is more of a benefit, i.e. the moonroof, like I mentioned. Leather interior is also a big plus in some of our cars as well. And we have been seeing clients ordering some of their cars with some of that equipment. Not a lot, but some, and it does definitely help in the auction environment.